Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to another episode, a season review of Season 2 here with the Palermo series. Another successful campaign. We just finished up in first place, but before we get into the whole season review, if you haven't done so yet, I would kindly appreciate if you give this page a follow, a subscribe, comment, like. Let us know what you're liking about the series, what do you want to see, what changes you want to be made. But yeah, those would be very much appreciated. Now on to the game. So as you can see, we finished season obviously in first place. Last episode we strongly hinted that we won the treble, not the triple. So the season ends. Finished up the last two games. We can look at the schedule real quick at how those last two games went. Scroll to the bottom. So we drew against Foggia 2-2. It was a very entertaining game there. And then we beat Como to end the season there. So we finished with 81 points, 6 points ahead of Siena. Novara came in third, La Spezia in fourth, and Benevento in fifth. For those wondering, Juve's under 23 finished in 11th place. So overall, the season, 5 losses. That's something new for us this season, but that's fine. We won. My goal was to move up to the next division, and we have. So we had 24 wins, 9 draws, 5 losses. 43 goal differential. So how did the season go, you ask, right? So Luigi Mendola, who we had been playing in the regista role, he is mixed between that and the mezzala role. Had an excellent season. He was voted as the Italian player of the year. He ended up having in 35 games, 10 goals, 11 assists with an average rating of 7.39. Coming in second place was Tommaso Aregoni from Siena, and then right just behind him, Pasquale Schiatrella for Benevento. So that was great news for me. I wondered how many players of mine made it to the team of the year, right? We had a fantastic year. So moving on to there, we had Alberto Pelagotti. The goalie was goalie of the year. 3 defenders in the team of the year. We had Crivello, Lancini, and Accardi. Luigi Mendola, obviously player of the year, was there in the midfield, and then for the strikers, Raimondo Lucera. So excellent overall for us. 7 players in the top 11. That is amazing feat there with my team. Some of the winners from this past year. So like I mentioned, Alberto Pelagotti was the goalkeeper of the year. Defender of the year was Roberto Iezzi, which is not one of my players. Luigi Mendola was midfielder of the year and player of the year. And then Nicolo Romero was striker of the year, but my striker had a pretty good year himself. So let's look at what my team actually did on the pitch. So most appearances, not surprising, there's Alberto Pelagotti. He had 43 appearances this season. Looking at goals now, my striker Raimondo Lucera, 16 goals, 5 assists. Very, very excellent season, really. Just behind him is Luigi Mendola, mid player of the year, 11 goals for him. Andrea Accardi, my defender, had 9 goals. My substitute, my youngster, Abubakar Sacco from Inter, he had 8 goals. Francesco Salandre, who we brought in during the winter transfer market, he had 7 goals as well, which is great. Roberto Crivello, off year from last year. Last year he had double-digit goals. He had 6 this year. That's still amazing for a left back. Ismet Sinani we picked up in the winter as well. He added 5 goals. Nicolas Bonafanti we picked up in the winter, 4 goals. My right back Doda had 4 goals as well, and pretty much everybody scored on this team. Who had more than the only person who didn't score that often, who had a lot of appearances, was actually Francesco Di Mico, and honestly, it was a lot of substitution roles, and he's a defender, so you don't expect him to get many goals. So, looking at the assist kings for my team, Luigi Mendola led the way with 12 assists. He co-led it with Roberto Crivello. Both had 12 assists. Fantastic years for both of them. My trequartista, Nikola Zalewski, he had 8 assists this year. And then followed behind him, Doda, my right back. Abubakar Sacco had 4 assists. Alandria. So a lot of guys spreading the ball around, which is amazing. Number of chances created. This is an interesting one, and one that you hope that your trequartista would dominate, and he did. Nikola Zalewski ended up getting 18 created chances. Just behind him, Luigi Mendola, who was playing a very attacking role towards the end of the season. He had 16, as is Roberto Crivello, my left back, right? So my left back's getting involved with all this stuff. So, who won the most player of the matches awards? Luigi Mendola, obviously player of the year. He won 8 times. Francesco Salandria, 5 times since January. And then Abubakar Sako, mostly coming off the bench, which is pretty impressive, honestly. Best passing percentage this year, Francesco Salandria in his 33 appearances. Danilo Amro had a high percentage. I mean, most of my guys had very high percentages in terms of this. Who had the most tackles per game? Francesco Vaccaro. In his 3 appearances as a substitute, he had 15 a game. So that number's a little skewed here. But in terms of guys who played a lot, Massimiliano Doda, my right back actually, just under 3.5 tackles a game, or just at 3.5 tackles a game. Francesco Salandria, 3 tackles a game. So a lot of my guys love getting stuck in it. So as a result of that, you would get a lot of yellows and reds, right? Right. Leading the way this year. Last year, both my center backs, Accardi and Lancini, they both had something like 17, 16, 15, something like that, a ridiculous amount. This year, Roberto Crivello, the left back, led the way, 17 yellow cards. No red cards though, so that's good. Luigi Mendola was actually second with 13. Eduardo Lancini and Accardi just behind them at 10 and 8, followed by a bunch of midfielders. So, how many red cards? Last year we had no red cards. We actually had 2 this year. Angelo Taglia, in one of his substitute appearances, he got a red card. And then Luigi Mendola, my player of the year, he got a red card one game too. And I think it was a double yellow, so to be expected, I guess. And then the overall ratings, my ratings for my guys were really awesome actually throughout the year. Obviously, my player of the year, Luigi Mendola, had the highest rating at 7.41, followed behind Salandria, Lancini, Lucera, and most of these guys are my starting 11 pretty much all rated above 6.75. So the lowest rated guy I have is Francesco Vaccaro, and he basically came on as a sub 3 times. So not surprising there. So yeah, really, really awesome stuff for my team this year. Look at the club finances or club vision from what it was at the beginning to how I ended. They wanted me to work within the payroll that was required, and I achieved that. They wanted me to have a maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 33. I didn't sign anyone over 33, so that worked out, and they weren't judging me apparently on that anyway. They wanted me to finish top half of the season, top half of the table. I think I achieved that, right? Winning the league and moving on to Serie B. So I clearly passed that. And then Serie C Cup, it was unimportant to them, but I won that anyway. Overall, the board gave me an A+. And to quote them, to summarize, the board feel you are doing an unbelievable job and you clearly are putting a smile on the face of every single supporter. Long may it last. No notable criticism from me. So, yeah, great stuff. Let's look at my ratings real quick, see how they're looking. I bumped up I started the season about, I think, a 1, maybe a half. Maybe it was 1.5, I can't remember. But now I'm at 2, which is great for a Sunday League soccer player. So it's not too bad there. A bunch of ratings got boosted up this year. The best domestic player bias went up. Handling team discipline went up. And tactical consistency went up. So, yeah, great year overall. And so, looking at the finances, right, we're in the red because we had a lot of incentives we gave the players to want to get them to perform, and perform they did, and so we had to pay out, and I'm happy to pay that kind of money. I don't know if the owners are happy, but I'm happy. Maybe we'll get a change of ownership and get an influx of money. So, looking at the contract situation for my team, again, it's not going to be as hard hit as it was last season for me. Last year, I was on the verge of losing a lot of players. I was able to negotiate some deals and keep a bunch of them, but I still had to replenish that squad. This year, I should be able to keep a good solid amount of it. The 2 big key acquisitions, or 2 big key positions that I wanted to make sure I kept, I was in doubt for a good amount of time, was my 2 center backs, Lancini and Accardi. They wanted new contracts because of how well they were playing. I had already given Mendola and Raimondo Lucera new contracts because they were playing well beyond my, what I could imagine. So I obviously paid them handsomely. Accardi and Lancini wanted to be paid as well, understandably. They wanted to stay, but they wanted a new contract, so I gave that to them. But it was on the edge there for a while. I wasn't sure if that was going to come through, but we made it work out. So my big thing that I'm going to focus on this off season, obviously, is making sure the team is competitive for next season, going to Serie B. But I had a lot of loan deals with options to buy, so I want to see what kind of money I'm going to get from the board going into the next season, and that'll depend on how many players I can sign. I try to get some for long-term, 2-year loans, so that I can pay it in the third season when we get into Serie A, hopefully. But that's going to be the tricky part. What players' loan deals have expired? Do I have to pay? Do I have the money to pay for the option to keep them? Can I do another loan? What's going to happen? Do players want to go somewhere else? In the last season, the big thing, a lot of the players wanted to leave because we were in Serie D and going to Serie C. So they're like, there's nothing there. We don't see anything. So hopefully this year, going C to Serie B, will convince more players to stick around for the long haul and trying to get into Serie A. That is my hope. And I'm also hoping by going up to Serie B, we can start looking at some the backroom staff, coaches, the board members and stuff like that, just to see scouts where we can improve if money allows. But my primary goal is get the team on the pitch first. I'm happy with the coaching staff and the backroom staff, but if there's money, I'm gonna try to make some upgrades where applicable. So, yeah, where do you think I should start focusing my team on? If we're looking at the tactics right before we end it here, my main tactic was the 4-4-2 diamond wingback gegenpress. It served me well. I have a couple other formations that I use, but I rarely use them. This is the formation I'm choosing to go with, and until it proves me disastrous, I'm going to keep going with it. And yeah, if you look at overall the season, my back three of Accardi, Lancini, Pelagotti worked well together. My midfield trident worked very well together, as well as my front three. So hopefully Doda and Crivello continue to improve, and they're going to be here for the long term. So I'm excited. I should keep this team, the starting 11, at least intact. And I'm excited about that, but the possibilities there going forward. So next time we see you, we'll begin in Serie B. And hopefully we got some new news in terms of players either we kept or we signed. So I'm excited. Hope you're excited. Leave us comments of where you think I should focus here on the off season, and let us know how we're doing. And if you haven't done so yet, again, please subscribe, because that'll be very, very much appreciated. It lets me know that you're enjoying the show here. So thank you again for your patronage and watching along with the 2 seasons we have so far. And hope you're as excited as I am for season 3 of Palermo. We are now at Serie B, up two divisions, on our way up to Serie A. Hopefully at the end of next season. That is the goal. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Ciao.
So don't act like it. And please don't treat me like I'm your sidekick. Cause I watch TV. I see how life is. And it's not easy. But still I'm right here. Screaming I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Yeah. My nigga, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
Drama.
You're no hero, so don't act like it. And please don't treat me like I'm your sidekick. Cause I watch TV, I see how life is. And it's not easy, but still I'm right here. Screaming I'm good, I'm good, yeah. My nigga, I'm good, I'm good, yeah.
Coming up to me like you still making music, man. Ask them kind of questions, shouldn't even shake your hand. Thought you were the homie, still don't know me, it's so evident. 2 million fucking views and growing, follow my accomplishments. Cause I do work my ass off. Back up in the game like my vocals got their cast off. All I've been is cast off by those who seem to lack heart. Trying to give the world some hope, so to the dark I'll cast art. Hope it lights the way, bright until yesterday. Life's been dark and y'all can see I've had a lot to say. Few friends have been supportive, you can tell by how I word it. So being around that energy, I feel I can't afford it. Talking about I need direction, somewhere where is yours? I've had mine and it's the only thing that I've been working toward. And I built it from the floor, y'all don't seem to help no more. CSR the movement, cause the internet's what opened doors.
You're no hero, so don't act like it. And please don't treat me like I'm your sidekick. Cause I watch TV, I see how life is. And it's not easy, but still I'm right here. Screaming I'm good, I'm good, yeah. My nigga, I'm good, I'm good, yeah.
say is y'all ain't been about the dream. Even back in high school, y'all weren't really about the team. To those who were, you know I know, and your support means everything. About to prove, come from anywhere and become anything. That you can take whatever you love and make it everything. But we're part is bigger than us. We made it everything. You know it's because I wear my word like a wedding ring. Sticking to my creed, put honesty above everything. Cause I ain't been perfect, but at least I got a purpose. Rising stars in my contact list with hippies and we murk shit. Conversations with the greatest, can't wait to say I made it. Shouts to those who say I helped them get through hard times, you my favorite. Shouts to channels that upload me and the haters that can blow me. And shouts out to a world and system you won't see control me. Blogs that show me love and friends who love what we does. Everyone who sees us hitting the top before it
You're no
comes.
hero, so don't act like it. And please don't treat me like I'm your sidekick. Cause I watch TV, I see how life is. And it's not easy, but still I'm right here. Screaming I'm good, I'm good, yeah. My nigga, I'm good, I'm good, yeah. You're no hero, so don't act like it. And please don't treat me like I'm your sidekick. Cause I watch TV, I see how life is. And it's not easy, but